Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Jim here from Storm Warning News on Saturday, August 26, 2023. Not a news report this morning. Certainly much bubbling on the surface of the landscape and on the surface of the world that we live in here. We're watching so many things, are we not? We're watching the U.S. economy continue to crumble. We are watching the transition to a one world economy, a digitally based economy, the removal of cash, difficulties with banks and their apps over the last couple of days. Bank of America, Wells Fargo. We're seeing the transition, the change being steadily done to us. We're watching Russia, NATO, Ukraine, China, Taiwan. We should be paying very close attention to Israel. Also, we have the scariants being rolled back out on us again. We're being warned of lockdowns concerning the scariants. Also lockdowns concerning climate, fires everywhere. Certainly a lot on our plate, is there not? Watching all of those things, I'm still hit with the notion, and I have been experiencing this over the last 24 hours, mentioned it in a live stream yesterday, a sudden shock, so to speak. With all of the things that we are watching, all of the things that we are preparing ourselves for, do you not sense that there is something about to shock us to the core, and we will be here to see it. We will be here to feel the effects of it, the concussive effects of an incoming event or series of them. I don't know anything. I can't tell you what it is, but this is laying on my spirit so heavily this morning, the phrase sudden shock. I've pictured it in red on a black background, and I've also seen it in white on a black background. Sudden shock incoming. Something that we did not anticipate. Something that we're really not prepared for. Something that will seemingly come out of the blue. And we'll say, nobody saw that coming. Had this sensation off and on before, folks, and maybe a number of you have too. It's though we are being distracted by the very things that we see and believe are important. It's though we are being distracted by everything in the news, the narratives we are watching, every fire, every report of every casualty in every war, the concerns over the blackouts, the concerns over so much, folks. I don't need to run through the litany of events with you that we are watching. Focusing on all of that, we are going to be caught by a surprise, a sudden shock that will strike. It will affect the U.S., it may affect other parts of the world concurrently. Something maybe as shocking as the 9/11 incident was, but perhaps on a much larger scale. Something that will stun, and while it shocks us, we could be locked down. We could be told not to go out. We could be told the banks are not open. We could be told that no one is allowed to be on the streets. There will certainly be secondary narratives spun from this, folks. Now, just stay with me, and I ask you to pray about this too, what I'm telling you. A main shocking event, and then ancillary events alongside it. Again, I when I think of this, I think of buildings, I think of streets in the United States. I even see an image of a former president, one who is making much news right now, one who plans to be and hopes to be president again. I think you know who I mean. He's had a very famous mugshot published. I believe you know who I'm referring to. I see images of him. Somehow, all of this, the sudden shock, the banks, tanks, banks and tanks, banks, military tanks, people moving in the streets, men in paramilitary uniforms, a smell in the air, fire, something, and nobody saw this coming, but I feel it very strongly. And as I'm making this video, I am just reciting to you or describing to you what I am seeing right now in my spirit and in my mind. Sudden shock, that is the phrase. I've had this feeling before, but it quickly went away. This has been lingering on me. So without taking too much more of your time this morning, I'd ask you to pray about what might be an incoming sudden shock that nobody expected. Wow, where did that come from? Oh no, what do I do now? Pray, folks. If you're experiencing this sensation, if you're feeling in your spirit, if the Holy Spirit is giving you something along these lines, please comment below. I'm very anxious to hear from you. And be expecting the unexpected. Be expecting a sudden shock very, very soon. Remember, Jesus, his yoke is easy and his burden is light. He is our salvation. He is our only way, our only truth, and our only life. It is he. He said, I am he. Press into him with everything you have because he is all we need. He will give us the strength to overcome the weakness of our flesh, the dangers of our environment, the dangers and the manipulations of the world elites. He is the only way out of this. He is our eternity. Pray about this, folks. Comment below. This is Jim signing off. Until the next time, God bless you.